This camera bag right here makes me 10K a month, not because the gear is special, because everything inside helps me make content that businesses are willing to pay for. So in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down everything inside this bag, what I use, why I use it, how much everything costs, and most importantly, how I use this bag to make me money. So watch till the end to see my exact setup and how you guys can replicate it and go out and start making money with camera gear, with making content, and with ultimately starting your own business. So the first thing inside my camera bag, and the most important thing of it all, is my camera. So I use the FX3. The FX3 is a beautiful, beautiful camera. This right here is actually one of two of my cameras. So I have actually a couple different cameras. I have the FX3, then I also have a Canon R5. The Canon R5 is another beautiful camera. But these two cameras get most of the job done when it comes to creating all my content. The FX3 is more of my video camera. For all my client shoots, I actually use the FX3 for it all. And crazy enough, I do use the FX3 for real estate photos too as well. So most people, they say the FX3 is just a video camera, but I use it for some of my real estate shoots. When it comes to my Canon R5, the Canon R5, I use mainly the Canon R5 for photos. So whenever I'm doing like some high quality photos like headshots, or if someone has like a clothing brand, they need photos, or I'm shooting photos for a business, I'll bring both and I'll use the Canon for all of my photos. Then I'll use the FX3 for all of the videos as well. So those are my two main camera bodies. I do have the DJI, which I'm actually recording on now. So I use the DJI for some of my like quick BTS content. But when it comes to cameras, these are the two cameras that I use the most. Why I picked the FX3 is because it's really industry standard. So this is like Netflix approved. I always tell everyone it's Netflix approved. It shoots 4K. It does everything that I need within a camera. I'm not too crazy about the specs, but the one thing I do like about having this camera is when you pull up with the FX3, people know you mean business. So this is a great cinema line camera, which I use. The reason I got the R5 is when I first started out, I started out in shooting sports. So I got the R5 because it was a great camera for shooting sports content. And I've just kept it as like my baby because I've had it for a minute. It's a little bulky. So the reason I really don't use it as much is because the camera is a little bulky, it's a little heavy. So the FX3 just works perfectly for when I have to go out and do shoots and do stuff like that. So that's kind of why I picked these two cameras. The best feature when it comes to both of them is with the R5, I do like a viewfinder. So you can, when you're taking photos, the viewfinder is good compared to like the FX3. The FX3 does not have a viewfinder. So mainly you have to use like the screen to see all the different stuff that you're shooting. So those are like two different things that I like. So like with the Canon R5, that's one thing I like. With the FX3, that's something that's like a disadvantage. But when it comes to like camera gear, the camera is, you know, kind of like 80% of the battle. It's really about learning the skills. So you can have the Canon R5, then you could also have the FX3. But if you don't know how to hone in your settings, get them right, that's mainly what you should be focusing on. So yeah, that's my cameras. Those are my two cameras. The next kind of thing, which is like the most important, I always tell everyone like the cameras are cool, but the lenses is what really makes the magic happens. So when it comes to the lenses, I have a couple of different lenses. Right now, for my Sony, I have a 24-70. This is my Sigma 24-70. I've been using this lens for a while now. I think the 24-70 is one of the best lenses to have because it has the zoom. You can get wide enough shots for most things. You can also zoom in to get those really nice close-up shots to mix up different angles. So like when I do real estate, I like to do B-roll with all the way wide at 24, then also getting super detailed shots when it's at 70 helps the videos look a lot smoother and a lot cleaner. Also, when it comes to the Sony, I also have a 20mm, which is on my camera right now. The 20mm prime lens, this is like my vlog lens. So I'll use this when it's like talking head shots, if I'm doing like vlog style content and I just need to pop up the camera and take a quick video. This is when I'll use the 20mm. If I'm doing like talking head or something where I need a real wide shot, that's when I'll pull out the 20mm. So that's the first Sony lens that I actually got, because I was doing mainly just like vlog, personal content. So the 20mm was perfect, but the 24-70 is a little bit more versatile. Then for when it comes to real estate photos, I have the 11mm prime lens from Sony. This lens is pretty good. I like it right now just because this is what I had. But crazy story behind this is I was just going out to shoot a shoot for I had a real estate shoot. Then I ran to Best Buy like first thing in the morning and kind of grabbed the first thing that was available, and I've been using it ever since. But I eventually want to switch to the 15-35. That way you can get those super wide shots. When also, if you want to zoom in and get detail shots, the 15-35 is a very good lens, and it helps with that versatile. So that way you can get that wide, you get that zoom. So that way you don't have to switch like lenses mid shoot. But I think this one does the job for what I need right now. Then when it comes for my Canon, I have a 24-70. This is the 24-70 RF Canon lens. This lens right here, that was the first lens. So when I got my Canon, I had two different lenses. I had a 70-200 because I was doing sports, but then I got rid of that and I just have the 24-70 now. That's perfect for shooting photos. If I was doing any client shoots, it's perfect. So that way you get that, like I said before, that super wide, also that zoomed in shot. So that way you can mix it up and kind of keep it diverse just to get extra shots. When it comes to my audio setup, what I'm using right now is the DJI mics. So the DJI mics, they're super, super good. I use them for everything that comes in this super nice packaging. So you can just use it, you can pull it out of your bag, and it works perfectly whenever you're on the run. They also, the battery life on these is freaking insane. You can use this battery, I literally charge it maybe like once every like 2 weeks, and I'm pretty much good to use it. Every time I go to a shoot, they still have battery. They last forever. I'm on shoots for a couple hours and the battery is still just running good and still high quality throughout the whole time. So the DJI mics are perfect. When it comes to creating content, you want to have great audio. If your audio is not good, most people are not gonna watch the video. If there's an echo, if you hear stuff in the background, making sure to have a good quality mic so people hear you clearly, people get the message. That is going to take your content to the next level. So right now I currently have the DJI mics. I also have a pair of Rode mics as well. Those are just like some extra ones that I keep in my car. So if I end up forgetting it or anything like that, that's what I will like use for the shoot. The next thing, this right here is the gimbal. This gimbal of doom is, this is what you need. This is the RS3, the Rode RS3. Where is it at? You can see it right here. The RS3 is smooth. My gears on this are actually very kind of messed up, but the gimbal I use every single shoot. So every single shoot I use the gimbal because it makes my videos stable. When I first started out, I did not, like, I was almost afraid to learn how to use this because I thought it was too complicated. I didn't know how to set it up. Obviously, it's not that hard, but when you're looking at it, it's like, how the heck do I work this? How the heck does this thing even work? So I eventually learned how to use it, learned how to get right on the gimbal. But this is a life changer. If you want stable footage, if you want your videos to come out clean and high quality, you need a gimbal. Having a gimbal is what took my content from looking mediocre to now where I feel like my content stands out online. It stands out, it looks clean, it's high level, it's very good quality. Having that gimbal is gonna make sure your footage is not shaky. Then obviously learning how to master it. Another thing that I added on here was this small rig, I guess extra stabilizer bar. So this is what I bought this off just like Amazon. You buy this small rig so that way all the weight isn't sitting right here on your forearm. You can throw this on, you just throw this on, then you tighten it up. Then from there, it makes it so much easier to hold. So now you can hold it with 2 hands and you get a little more stable shots, and it just helps with your forearm. Because sometimes if you have a long shoot, you have a 6-8 hour shoot and you're running around shooting like a wedding or shooting an event, and you're holding the gimbal and you have, you know, 15-20 pounds in your arm, your arms will get tired. So having that extra little stability helps out a lot. Next thing I use is my drone. The drone. So this is the DJI Mini 4 Pro. So the Mini 4 Pro is great. People love the drone. Most of the time, if you say you have a drone, they're like, oh my gosh, you have a drone. It makes the content so much better because you get different shots, different angles. You get to add and incorporate different things to make your video more engaging. So this thing right here is super high level. It's super small. It's super easy to just travel and to go out and get shots. So I use the drone almost every shoot. Everyone wants to have the drone. So the Mini 4 Pro is great. I love it. The one thing I also do like about this is it has the screen built in, so I can literally just pull it out my bag. I have a screen. I can see exactly what I'm shooting. I can make sure my content is good. It's in frame. So that is a thing, basically the thing that I love about that. The next thing is the small rig battery. This right here is awesome. If you forget to charge something, the other day I had a shoot. It was an event and it was like a 6-hour event, and my gimbal was starting to run low. So this right here, you press the battery. It has the battery on it, and you can plug in. You have different ports on it. So where I basically just plugged my gimbal right into here and walked around with this in my pocket. The next thing I know, my gimbal's at 100%. I'm running smooth. So if your mics are dying, your gimbal's dying, that right there is basically your portable charger. So that way everything is always charged. Next thing that I have is my meta glasses. This is where I get all of my behind the scenes content. So when it comes to the meta glasses, I do a lot of content with this. So it's an easy way to just capture yourself whenever you're out shooting, whenever you're out getting content. It's just a great way to get different B-roll shots. Me personally, when it comes to my content, I realize that a lot of my content with the meta glasses do very good. So I like to use the meta glasses to be able to get content of me out here working when, you know, I don't have someone to come out and shoot for me. So the meta glasses are huge accessory, and I really like the ability to wear them. And I think it also is a good accessory piece too. So if you are into fashion, you want to, you know, look good at your shoots, the meta glasses are a good fashionable piece. But more than less, it's a great accessory to have in your arsenal when it comes to creating your own personal content too as well. So that way you can get content on shoots that you can't, you know, bring out your friend or have a camera person recording you. So the meta glasses are huge for me too as well. The next thing that I use is this Shinobi. It's a monitor. So I'll put the monitor right on my rig. This way, if I'm shooting any horizontal content, I'll be able to see my FX3 screen a lot bigger. So a lot of the times when it's, you know, super bright out or you can't really see, the monitor is a great way for you to assess the lighting, for you to be able to adjust the clip to see it just a little bit better instead of trying to, you know, look at this small screen right here on the camera. You can look at this screen in triple the size. So having a monitor is something that has really helped me when it comes to just honing in my colors. And another thing you can do with that is like put your LUT on it, so that way you can see what the LUT will look like right from on the screen. So that's another thing that I really highly recommend when it comes to that. The next thing I have is I always pack a charger with some extra batteries. So a charger and batteries for your camera, always having the extra batteries and the accessories. So that way, if your camera dies, most of the times one battery is not going to do it for you. So you need 2, 3, 4 batteries depending on the length of your shoot. That way, when one dies, you're putting it on the charger, you're having the next one ready to go. So having extra batteries, you don't want to show up to a shoot, not have your batteries, because literally the first time I ever had a shoot, I pulled up and my battery was dead. So being able to have multiple batteries ready to go is always super good. And always make sure everything the night before is ready, everything's charged. So don't make the same mistakes that I made and go out to these shoots and not have these different things. Next thing that I have is a cleaning kit. So I just have this super basic cleaning kit. It's from Neff, and basically it has different things in it like wipes, different cleaners, and different things. So that way when you're out shooting, you can make sure your lens is super clean. It has a lens cleaning kit inside. So that way everything always stays super clean. Because once you have these cameras, they get dusty, they're sitting in your bag, they're sitting on your shelf, they're, you know, not always super clean. So making sure your lens stays clean so you're not having spots on your videos and things like that is a necessity. So I always keep that with me. My next thing in my bag is a lighting. So this lighting box is super good. So having a lighting box, so if you're in a dark room, if you need some extra lighting, this is when you pull this out. Having this lighting box helps a lot, tremendously. So many times you go to a shoot and say the light is super yellow in there. This, you can make a white light, you can make it super blue, whatever. That way you can get your shots properly lit, because not every place you go to is going to have the best lighting. So having that lighting box to travel with you on the go is super huge. You can put that up in different areas of the room, so that way your video is always properly lit. So then the last things that I have in my bag are just some extra accessories like SD cards, charging cables, HDMI cord, extra mics, extra batteries. All these things are just things that I keep in my camera bag. So if I forget an SD card or SD card is full, I always have an extra, always have chargers and things like that. So that way I have every single thing that I need. Then one thing else that I'll bring is my MacBook. So my MacBook fits right in the back of my bag. So if I'm, like I said, if I'm at a long shoot, or if I need to quickly drop videos from my camera onto my computer and put it into a file and put it onto my hard drive, I have my MacBook. Or if I need to quickly edit something and post it for them right at the event, that's why I have my MacBook too with me as well. And based on everything that I told you, that is my full camera bag. That's all the gear that I go out and use on my content shoots. But it's not all about just the gear, it's about having the skills. So when it comes to having the skills, you want to be able to put all this gear into work, so that way you can actually start to make good content and start to learn how to make good content. Because a year ago, when I first started off, all I had was an A7 III and a drone. Those were the first two things that I had. Then I started to actually add different things into my arsenal and get better at just creating content, getting better at my editing, getting better at going out and talking to people, and finally getting everything that I needed. And I'm still gonna keep growing. I still wanna get a better gimbal. I still wanna add different things to my arsenal. But right now, that is all the camera gear that I use. I hope that you guys can kind of take away what bits and pieces that you need, and to kind of see how, you know, you can incorporate some of the gear that I use and kind of help you out with what you're doing as well. If you guys have any questions, if you guys want me to kind of break down anything, just drop a comment below. And I appreciate you guys for tapping into the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.